And it's always on my mind. I've really stopped looking for someone, unfortunately, because currently what my mind is just like, I don't want to say I've given up, but I've just seen everybody make me promises and make me promises on promises and never really fulfilled. Like, I was always looking for a caretaker, looking for someone that would protect me, take initiative for me, and just be the greatest person they could for me. And that may be selfish, I don't know, but that's just me being honest. And
worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die a tragic death or some shit, and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life. I at least, if I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life, regardless of the negative around my name, regardless.
Hell is just a government creation, and all the information they solicit isn't nearly close to truth. It was clear since the alteration. The books that children study when they said Columbus discovered America, oh, the ultimatum. Telling you the truth, but oh well, I'm already in hell, I'm tired of having patience. This woman saw my soul, they said some shit that I can bubble. Jesus wasn't white, no black, I cannot be somewhat the hell, and one having a pocket to understand what J.K. talking about false prophets. And mention how the love's changing, and the end codes, fucking entertainers playing by the rules. Suck you up in a dick and stick, just stay cool. And as we discuss about all of you motherfuckers, tell you broke.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Let this rock for a minute.
Spend it on the have-nots.
Hell is just a government creation.
We make it.
Sometimes you gotta let songs rock that's still very much relevant 50 years later. We gonna have a good show today, but we gonna start this on a real serious note, just cause shit need to be said.
This ain't living, this ain't living. No, no, baby, this ain't living, no.
No, Warrior Ma. No, Joe Budden.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. We are back, the Joe Budden Podcast, episode 167, if I'm correct. Gentlemen, yes?
Yes.
I'm your host, Joe Budden, alongside Rory Maul Parks. Erickson is here, Savon is here, and Ice is here. And I want to start this with a quick moment of silence for XXX Tentacion and Jimmy Wapo out of Pittsburgh. I want to say rest in peace to them both, and I would like to send love, prayers, and condolences to their fans, family, and loved ones. So we'll start with some silence for a quick second. Okay, unfortunate we have to start this way, but we do. And a busy week in hip hop. Pardon my voice. I just was awoken from a nap. So I was trying to be well rested here. So if you have not heard, XXX Tentacion was murdered in Florida, exiting a bicycle shop, a motorcycle shop. He was shot in his vehicle, from what I read, as ongoers and passerbyers recorded his lifeless body with their phones. And as soon as I saw that video, I said, he's gone. he's there's just not a doctor there to confirm it, but that doesn't look too good. And then shortly after, the Jimmy Wapo news broke. And I'll be honest, I can't remember a day where two rappers were murdered on the same day. And a lot about this XXX shit is bothersome. So let me just talk about me real quick. This kid, I wasn't I wasn't into his music very early on, but I was working on a show with Academics, and Academics was big on this kid's music, and Academics spoke highly of this kid. So I started to watch the kid because he was a mental health advocate.
Yeah.
So I was into him before I was into his music, because some people use mental health to exploit it. Some people, you can just tell the difference when some people are really going through some shit and just faking the funk. Not too long ago, Bow Wow reached out to me to do an interview here. This is a few months ago. This is before his Breakfast Club interview. This was when he was running around with the album titled Suicide. I turned that shit down ASAP, didn't answer that call. Not because I don't fuck with Bow Wow, I don't play with people exploiting mental health. Not to say that Bow Wow wasn't going through shit, but I didn't believe it. This kid was a little different. As someone who has gone through some of that stuff and still does, you looked at this kid, and for me, I immediately said, "Oh, he'll end it. He'll do it." And I started to speak to Ak in a different manner regarding this young man. So when his album came out, I bought it. And to my surprise, it was really good. He was diverse. He was doing a lot more than just rapping, and all of the content was pretty heavy and pretty serious. And even after all of the fuck shit that this kid did, his album came out and he sold a lot of records. A lot of records. Which, shit, I was on vacation at the time with my girl, and her and I was both on the balcony crying listening to this album. Because we both are into that mental health shit like that. She's lost somebody. I've gone through it. So for this young kid to be reaching an audience, like, I was happy. I was proud that there was somebody talking that shit to the young kids. I mean, I'll be honest. That's how I felt about it. And I've had pretty harsh words for the young man. And I will say, and I've had a few conversations with him. I've spoken to him on FaceTime. To me, it seemed as though he was trying to live differently. It seemed as though he was trying to make some changes. It seemed as though he was, like, sincerely apologetic for some shit that he did. And I can't speak on everything that he did. I can't speak to... You know what I will speak to? This is what I will speak to. Let me get off of XXX for 2 seconds and just talk about, like, some life shit. Please, y'all feel free to jump in here. I'm just gonna kind of ramble because I have a lot to say about the topic. Well, don't jump in here because I'm about to kill Peter Rosenberg. So yesterday I'm driving, and I had already heard the news. And I was really fucked up. I cried all day yesterday. I even didn't really know how to start this podcast because I didn't know if I could talk about this without crying a whole lot. So I'm in my car bawling in fucking tears, right? And I'm listening to talk radio. And it's fucking Peter Rosenberg, 98.7. Him, Michael K., Don LaGreca. And he interrupts this bullshit Yankee talk they're having to say, hey, I know this is not a hip-hop show, and I know we don't cover hip-hop, but I'm in hip-hop. So I must report to you guys that XXX Tentacion has passed away. And then his two white co-hosts say, well, who was that? And the first thing out your mouth is, well, he was no angel?
That's what he said?
Yes. That was the first thing out his mouth. Well, he was no angel. I took a lot of offense to that, Peter Rosenberg. I was going to come in here and really tear you a new asshole, but that's not what's needed right now. So let me tell you why I take offense to that. And, but before I even get into that, I went, because I was crying when I heard you say that dumb shit, and I was mad. And then I got home, and I saw a whole lot of people echoing that sentiment. This is what I thought. What I thought about it was this. Oh, man, hip-hop, let me talk about the hip-hop I know anyway. Hip-hop has always been welcoming of all, which is why it's kind of beautiful that way. Like,
Yeah.
we accept the killers, we accept the drug dealers, we accept the rapists, we accept all. Am I off here? Mm. That's what hip hop was founded on. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying, because all is not okay.
Right.
All is not okay, but you'd be a fool to not think that hip hop does welcome all, right? So cool. Then you take this young man who did all of this fuck shit, but is trying to get it together and turn it around a little bit. I take offense to Peter Rosenberg. Let me tell you why I take offense to Peter Rosenberg. Because if you are in this culture and of the ilk of this culture, then to me, I'm only saying my opinion, then that's to be represented wherever you are. Like, you can't take hip-hop out of me. It don't matter what room I'm in, who I am face to face with, I'm hip hop. So for Peter Rosenberg to sit in this room of fucking conservative ass Michael K. and Don LaGreca, who have no idea who this kid is, and the first thing you say is, well, he was no angel. Peter Rosenberg, this ain't, are you in this culture or are you a guest? Because when you explaining some shit from the culture, I would think that it would be explained with some type of identification. Because newsflash, Peter Rosenberg, this culture was founded upon niggas identifying with niggas. With niggas understanding each other. So, are you of the culture or are you a guest? Peter Rosenberg. And what I mean by that is, if you are of the culture, then nigga, I expect you to fucking act like you from the culture no matter where you at. I don't give a fuck if you on ESPN, Disney, Airwaves, nigga. Don't interrupt the fucking broadcast. We here to hear sports. I'm in my car bawling in tears, and I gotta hear a nigga that call himself culture say, oh, he's no angel. I know that scary place we're living in when people just are without compassion. I've been asking people on the timeline. I'm seeing niggas. I've never seen this type of, oh, good.
Right.
Oh, he should be dead. Yes, kill him. Rapist, murder. I'm asking people, hey, do you think all felons should die?
Right.
I mean, it's a question I want to know from niggas now. It's scary.
The thing about that is, I was saying that too, and I think people lost sight of the fact of how young.
A nigga's a child.
Right.
He's a child.
And if you look at some of the great leaders that have gone on to, lead this country and lead organizations, I mean, when they were 18, 19, 20 years old, they were selling drugs, they were pimping women, they had felonies, but I mean, as you become a man, you look back on your life and you realize that you made some mistakes and you grow and you learn from that. I just didn't understand how everybody was, saying, oh, he whatever he did with, the situation with his ex-girlfriend, y'all wasn't praying for her, y'all wasn't, and it's like, yo, these are kids, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. Like, if we were all held accountable for things we did when we were 18 or 19.
Even his victim, his ex-girlfriend or whatever, came out and said that she was not happy about, obviously, him passing, but people being happy that he passed.
Right. I mean,
which is awful, but and again, I'm not one of those people that's happy that this gentleman has passed away. I think it's horrible. I think it's what he's been accused of is where people are coming from. I don't think it's just a simple mistake of something. I'm just saying what I think these people are looking at. They've read the articles, whether they be true or not, I'm not sure. But it was those specific heinous crimes that he's accused of is what had people saying those outlandish things.
My problem isn't people having an opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at Peter Rosenberg and his opinion. My problem is the timing.
Yep.
Yeah.
When someone passes, I'm not sure if people's parents taught them this or not. I'm not sure who raised some of you niggas out there. But when someone passes, that's not the time to pull up their... That's not the time to go through all the things that you hate about them.
Right. I also have a problem with the hypocrisy because people, screaming for justice and all that stuff, and then the kid gets killed, and they're like, oh, good. But, wouldn't you rather see justice be served in a proper court of law, etc., than vigilante justice? If that's what this was, we don't even know.
And we're going to talk about the Hov and B album in a little bit, but I can't stop playing that verse on Hov's album, the Hov and B album, in regards to this, where he's basically talking about what I've been saying for a little while here, but niggas have paid me no mind when the Drake shit came out, whatever, and I was saying that how the black man, I forgot what I was saying about the black man, I had a point, but the whole verse is about the black man needing a certain type of love and affection from woman or from just period because of how America treats you when you walk out the door. Do y'all know that verse? It was a great verse.
Yeah, it was on.
I'll play the verse if y'all don't know the verse.
It was on the 714 shit.
Do I need to play it?
717. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was the last verse when the beat switched.
Oh yeah. Which kind of leads to my second point. When you're saying all of these things about you hating XXX and you hate and Goody's dead, blah, 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 that is exactly what births
right.
the gentlemen that behave like XXX allegedly did.
you letting people play judge, jury, and executioner at
right.
one shot,
right.
without information. We don't know. Yeah, these things he allegedly did, no, but he just kill him. We don't even know what the circumstances was, who killed him, any of that.
Right.
And everybody's just, he did this, so good for him.
Well, all right, I'm off of that. I don't give a fuck about that particular part because details have not emerged yet. But what I will say is, all right, so we've seen it now with Chinks, we've seen it with Stacks, we've seen it with Stack Bundles, we've seen it with XXX now, and man, I'm getting real tired of the story of rappers feeling attached to their hoods. I get it. I understand. Trust me, I do. But that's got to stop. That just has to. You have to be aware of. Well, how can I say that they're not aware? That's where they're from.
Right. He was in the hood.
I spoke to Stack.
You grow up and feel attached to. It's where all your friends and family and your life is.
They think they all friends. That's part of the
that
problem.
as well.
Like 50 said, fuck the hood. And I'm not trying to shit on the hood, but that's exactly the goal should be to get out the hood. Not make it and stay and hang around the hood. The hood don't want you to leave. So once you make it, it's time to get out. Get the family out. You don't have to shit on the hood to do it, but you stay there, the hood will eat you alive.
Why, thank you, Ice. I didn't even know Ice had a mic. We'll get to that in a minute when this is not so serious. Back to thoughts on XXX real quick. We're not gonna spend the whole podcast talking about this. Just a few quick thoughts. Niggas, you young rappers, those streets are not yours. Those blocks are not yours. Those hoods are not yours. You have to understand how they work. And what I mean by that is, let's talk geography. Let's have like, and I'm horrible at geography. I am really, really, really bad at geography. But in my dropping out of school and traveling and picking up my own information, I learned a little bit about geography and how the world is set up, or at least America is set up. So there are certain places, young men, that just are not for us. They are not set up for us. They're not set up for us to win. They are there solely for us to fail, or they're there solely for us to kill and murder each other. Am I off here?
No, you're right.
That's unfortunately I had to find that out like the hard way. So when you start making a little bit of money, and you start becoming, and you start having a little bit to lose, right? You just got to be a lot more responsible. I get it. We grew up in these neighborhoods, so we want to go, we want to help, we want to take people with us. The best way to help is probably to stay alive. The best way to help is probably to stay alive. And normally you could just look around some of these neighborhoods. Like, what was that? I don't know where they were, but they say that because the internet, they always find out who did what. So now they're saying they found the people that did this. That's what the internet is saying. Police haven't said that. No one else has said that. The internet is saying
police are watching the internet, guys.
Oh, for sure.
Not speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to the listeners.
Oh,
the police are watching the internet.
Yeah.
I'm real tired of seeing the streets on the internet, and I'm real tired of seeing the internet on the streets.
Right.
Anytime I see either of the two, it looks really, really funny, and it's really, really annoying.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was a little disgusted at some of the media outlets and people that were saying rest in peace. And to the people that think I'm talking about academics, I am, but not just him.
I'm talking about him, too.
A lot of these outlets have shown that the only way to get out there is to do fuck shit, because we'll cover it. We all knew about Tentacion's fuck shit before his music. The masses, at least.
Yeah.
Including myself.
Act got the nerve to be exploiting the nigga even in death.
He's not the only one.
Don't do your coverage to instigate the fuck shit and then say rest in peace when it finishes. It's offensive. Yeah. It's gross.
Y'all are exploiting this nigga, this young man, even in death. It is sickening. It's sickening. I watch Everyday Struggle for all the 3 minutes I could stomach it this morning, or yesterday morning, just to hear Ack. Because I remember him telling me verbatim out his mouth, if something happens to that young man, that's totally on him. And I was surprised that he said that, because behind the scenes, I know how much they talk and how much they kick it. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like that was just on him. He looked a little shaken up.
It's that whole internet culture of these kids that have nothing. They're desperate. The only way I could get on, 6ix9ine, for example, has nothing. Only way he get on is do that. I'm gonna go do that because this is what's been set up by the gatekeepers, if you will, of Instagram. That's the only way. It's an awful process. People die over it because of people in their basements setting a standard for popularity.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't let none of you niggas set any standards for me. Yeah, Ant got the nerve to be on the fucking show talking about, yeah, and it's really bothersome because him and we had a bit of a falling out recently. I'm like,
but this is the problem I have.
What?
But and then see when I say shit, people, I'm hating and I'm all of this, but it's because
if this is hating, call me a hater.
These certain dudes that they are giving these platforms to, it's like y'all, they're bozos. Like Academics is a bozo. He should not have a platform like he has, because when real life shit happens, he shows just how much of a fucking bozo he is.
I think he should have a platform. I don't
think he should.
I think that
specific
he should use his platform to talk about things that he is into, and that ain't the streets. He's not into the streets. That's why I wanted to watch the show. He looked shaken up.
Right.
He looked like, wow, man. Like all that shit he was like, wow, man, just life is short. You just never know when some things like this happen. Every day you perpetuate this shit.
But this is what I'm saying.
Every single, and I'm not mad at no nigga that's with the shits perpetuating something.
Well, you could tell. Look, like they're not with the shits when shit gets real. Look at 6ix9ine. Once this happened, he puts out, "Yo, life is short. Yo, maybe I be trolling too much. I need to chill out." Like shit can happen from your trolling.
I don't really know how to take anything that 6ix9ine says. So I don't look at anything that 6ix9ine says.
Yeah, I feel you.
I saw what he said. So
was he trolling about trolling?
Yeah,
We don't know.
It could be a troll. Yeah.
Well, there was a report that went out saying that TMZ put out a report saying, and TMZ, y'all niggas should stop reporting street shit too. Y'all are just smart enough to hide behind the storefront of TMZ.
Yeah, again, I was talking about Ack, but I'm not just talking about him. There's a lot of people that do this.
If Ack had a storefront, then it would maybe be a little different. It's him. TMZ, y'all do the same shit. Damn, I was going somewhere before we was talking about the TMZ shit.
6ix9ine.
TMZ reported that 6ix9ine might be under investigation in some shootout shit. So they reported that. I don't know if that's why he's on this peace treaty shit. Now I realize, life is like I don't know what you kids are doing. I don't know what you kids are doing out there.
I generally hope it's not a troll. I hope this was. Listen, if this has to happen, let's not let it happen in vain. I'm cool with 6ix9ine doing. He makes great music. That kid's a star. He doesn't need to beef with Chief Keef.
Right.
Both those kids are talented, and did this to get away from that.
Right.
But here's my thing. Because I was thinking about this all yesterday too. Something is missing, and I feel like there's something that we need to be doing. Because I feel like we're not doing enough. We're reaching back and really like sitting these young cats down and explaining to them how serious this shit is. Like, because I hate to say it, but we are kind of like desensitized now where shit like this is like another one. It's another kid. It's another dude lost. Another artist killed. Like, we should not be desensitized to that. Like, we need to reach out. Like, I don't know what it is we can do, but there's something that I feel like we need to do something to where we're helping these young dudes, like, understand, like, fam, this is life. This is real life. This is not a joke. Y'all sit on the internet trying to go viral all day, but y'all don't realize there are real consequences to these actions. So it's something that we need to do. I don't know what, but we do need to do something with our platform to help these young dudes out.
That's what I was trying to say. I think this could actually be that eye opener to just get that conversation started. Like, this is one of them that is happening to. You know what I mean?
And homie wasn't for it to happen to him like that, it was kind of, it was shocking to me only because I was kind of following him as of late and seeing changes that he was trying to make. And just like his things he was saying, you know what I mean, things he was doing. And it was like, for that to happen now was like, damn, like it was a kid who looked like he was just getting ready to figure it out. Like, okay, cool, I'm out here. I had it totally wrong. So it's like, that's why it's such a tragedy to me, because when you see somebody making that change, trying to turn that corner in their life, and they're taken away like that, that's when it's tragic. Like, damn, like this looks like a kid that was getting ready to figure it out. And he could have been the one, we don't know, to spark his generation and say, yo, dog, listen, like, we doing this wrong.
You know, you say that more, and I agree with you. I do think that more of the elder statesmen could. There's something that could be done. But, you know, when the news broke, I was with Styles P, who, shout out to Styles P and his wife. I visited the Juice Bar in Brooklyn. We'll talk about that soon. But I was with him, and he's one of the older niggas that is always talking that shit to the youth, is always about bridging the gap. Royce, for a few years now, has been on that. I won't say me. Cole, I could say me. I mean, it's a few. There are a few people that. There are a few older people that have been trying to ingratiate themselves with the younger crowd. But I mean, I guess the question is, what can you do if niggas just don't really give a fuck? I was fucked up yesterday because I felt like I connected with that kid.
Right.
I felt like I did actually get something that I said got through, and that's just how I felt. So, yeah, I was fucked up. I was fucked up about it, and this is 30 minutes now. I said I wasn't gonna get into this, but I was fucked up about it because, and of course more will be revealed, but like it just seemed so random. That was my point earlier about geography. That was my point. I'm like a slave to my house almost. Y'all know that, right?
Right.
And it's not because I don't enjoy going out. I'll be honest with you guys. It's because I'm entirely too paranoid. I'm way too paranoid to be outside. The way that my brain works, it's not really fun. So especially in a million times Rory asks me to go to Duce Palooza, and I'm not going. Not because I don't enjoy Rory and his friends and Duce Palooza. I know me around drunk niggas.
Right.
It can end bad. I've been in situations where it's almost ended bad. Where you just can't, you just got to be careful when you are around people that do not value life the way that you do. That was my point in bringing up. It's the same as real estate. I don't give a fuck how big and nice your house is. Know what determines the value of it? The fucking surrounding houses. Mm-hmm. It is the same exact thing. So when I saw that timeline that somebody on the internet put together, and I'm sorry, listeners, I'm a little more awake now, you can hear. When I saw the timeline that they put together of the alleged murderers 5 minutes down the street, eating a pizza, pictures of the red mask and all of this shit, I'm like, really? Like a nigga can't even go buy a bike in his hood? That tells me get out the hood. They killed me for leaving the hood early, but I left. I was getting the fuck out of Dodge. It took niggas trying to kill me only 7 times for me to say, all right, no more. That's my point about niggas. Like, 7 times for me. I was one of the lucky ones. Like,
that's very lucky.
Guns jammed at my head. Everybody is not always that lucky. When I think about this XXX kid, I got to think about what would have been said about me if I'd have got clapped last decade. Oh, man.